at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Houston Texans. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now a first carry for Deontay Foreman, who was lost to the Achilles injury last year. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, Watson. And incomplete here on 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Hey, we're good, we're good. 46 down, man, 5-4.
They go play action here on 1st down. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Zach Cunningham in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling.
Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a run. This is Alfred Blue. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
3rd and 2, Watson, and that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. Well, I see what they were trying to do there. You pop up your holder, roll him out. You got the option to run or pass. This didn't work.
Not at all. And the communication was excellent defensively to make sure that receivers were covered as they escaped from the line of scrimmage, because that's supposed to be a surprise to everyone, and that's how they get free. People forget their assignments on defense. That didn't happen. And think about the guy rolling out with the football, looking for an open person. No one there.
Helpless, really.
Helpless, because that gap between you and defenders now is going to close, and close quickly.
Drops it off to Ajayi. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short. He felt the pressure coming there. That was a good job of just making something out of nothing, so to speak.
Yeah, took the hit and still made the play. You know, when we talk about runners, all right, and on running plays, runs after contact, we call that getting dirty yards, tough, gritty ones. To me, that's like the version of a dirty pass. He knows he's going to get smacked, yet still delivers the football and picks up good yardage. And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Kayvon Webster on the defensive side, able to get a hand in.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
82, 82. Hey, rip on 2, on here.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. And a reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And out across midfield down to the 45. The first catch for Jeffrey. Good enough for a 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Throwing his Wentz. It's over the middle. He was locked in. 2 trips to the end zone, Charles, over 100 yards receiving.
How about the combination of route running, confidence going downfield, and the ability to go up and get the football? You're exactly right. It was hard for them to stop him.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
46 down, man, 5-4.
On play action, it's Wentz. A dump off to Sproles. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Come on now, let's go.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. To throw is Watson. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
Back 22!
Watson hands this to Foreman. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now Foreman. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Back 22! Back 22!
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag.
False start, offense.
That was a 3rd and somewhat manageable, now not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
Here's Watson. It's hauled in by Ellington. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
He'll buy some time right. And some room to work. There he goes inside the 30. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run, So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
To throw on second is Watson. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now it's Watson. That is caught inside the 5. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that will tie us at 3-3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Whitney Merciless in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Wentz. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The 4-time All-Pro, J.J. Watt. And that'll bring up 4th down.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one goes for 24 yards. On first down, it's Watson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now it's Watson, a bootleg. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it, now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Steps away to his left. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. Watson now to throw. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Down! Back 22! Back 22!
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans are in for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out now come the Eagles. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Liz. 52, great.
Wentz will try again on 2nd down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw is Wentz. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. As the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. Here's Ellington. Whoosh. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Chris Long, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Tiger.
So we have reached halftime here. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken about the 12. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
They run with a Johnny. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Let's go. Two jet.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 23 yards on the play.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
On first down, Wentz. Going to throw right side here, complete. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a 1st and goal.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first.
Got a man open. It's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover him? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You're going to yell at me? You go cover him.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The drive starts with Foreman on the ground. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
On 3rd and 2, Watson. And that's complete. It's Ellington. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
It's caught inside the 25. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A huge play there for Houston. 45 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
That is caught inside the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Mike Bennett. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, 1st down. Run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on 2nd down.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they will take the lead at 13-10. Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
The Eagles on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7.
Don't go. Shorty, shorty, shorty.
Wentz now to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20. Watson going deep for Hopkins. It's caught inside the 25. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. And the tackle there by Chris Long. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's brought down. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run. This is Blue. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Alfred Blue with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And Charles, he's able to dive in there in a short yardage situation.
Just find a place to get to the end zone. Didn't matter where it was, but once he did, used his nose for the end zone and dove in.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
It's a big play there for the Eagles. 44 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Throwing on first is Wentz. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. On play action, Wentz. That's going to be caught. Give him 30 yards there.
There's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. Again, it's Wentz. Got him in. Oh, good, it's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game. And the Eagles are back within a score.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the podcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Elliott now to kick this one away. Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Well, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Michael Bannon in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Texans on 3rd down. Lacking much success. Just 2 for 7 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Back to throw. Watson. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. And not the start that he expected. You look at the numbers, though, he's got back here to his elite level.
And I get the sense that the defense game planned a little bit different than what he expected. You know, he had an idea from watching tape what he should expect. They changed things up on him a little bit and caused that slow start. But the best ones, they take it as a challenge, and they come fighting back. And that's exactly what we saw there.
Wentz now on first down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Ram.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
Hey, we're good. Run. Lion.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. An Eagle first down there, Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Hang in there now. Three down. Hey, check. 3 down.
Play action. Now Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
He's back to throw. That's into the hands of Wallace over the middle. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A first down for the Eagles. Wentz finding the former Raven Wallace. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Black, come on. 74.
Back to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Now Wentz will keep it. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal. Inside of a minute to go now. 2 timeouts left. Still in pretty good shape.
I think they're in excellent shape here if they use the timeouts judiciously and use the sideline as an additional timeout.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Dylan Cole. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score. And he says, not on my watch. And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
And now out comes Houston. They have the 3-point lead. Defense did their job. Now, late game. Although it looks good, you know the coaches, they haven't counted this as a victory yet.
I agree with you totally. Big applause for the defense, but no one is taking their headset off on the sidelines. They don't believe this game is over. The offense has to close this one out by taking care of the football.
They'll try to close it out now. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Hey, back 22.
They'll run with Foreman. Oh, he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
And now the Texans defense, they get ready here. And everything's going to rest on this drive. Can they keep them out of field goal range? Because a field goal would win it.
So now you're in that position of you can't just back off and give them easy throws. At the same time, you don't want to press them so hard that
he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now before the 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. He'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again. 6 seconds now. 5 seconds.